Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Only Bio. Presenting up the important points from the chapter Kingdom Animalia, that is classification of animals. This will help you all for the competitive exams like Neet, CET, KVPY, Olympiad, and this will also help the students from CBSE, HSC Board, ICSE, IGCSE. The terms of the points discussed here are derived from MCQs that have appeared in the various national and state level competitive exams. Questions are formed from these terms or points either in similar or modified forms. These are beneficial as they will help you to master the important topics in limited span of time, frame expected questions, do effective revision, make your own synopsis, and friends, the more MCQs you solve, the better you understand and you get confident. So daily practice of few minutes with me on my channel will surely help you to master the topic, so stay tuned. So presenting up the neat points from Kingdom Animalia from 41 to 50. Friends, before we begin with, this is just a rough idea about how the classification is done. I shall explain you the same quickly. So, Kingdom Animalia, which comprises of multicellular organisms, can be broadly classified into two main groups based on the levels of organization. Okay, so first one is the cellular level of organization, wherein we find there is an aggregate of cells, but the cells do not come together to form tissues. These animals mainly are poriferans, that is sponges, which are mostly asymmetrical and they do not have any body cavity, hence they are also included into the group of Acelometa. And the second major group is the one in which the cells aggregate to form tissues, or maybe a higher up level from this, that is the tissues come together to form organs, or a little more complex, which is seen in the majority of the animals, that is the organs come together to form organ systems. So based on this, if we look at the animals in this particular category, we can say that we have two broad categories in this. One group which has a radial symmetry and the other which has a bilateral symmetry. Now, the one with the radial symmetry again are acoelomates belonging to two phyla, Coelenterata, that is also called as Cnidaria, and Ctenophora. And the second category of bilaterally symmetrical animals, they have three subdivisions into it, that is acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, and eucoelomates. Now, acoelomates are the organisms without a coelom. That is, there is no cavity between ectoderm, mesoderm, and the endoderm. And the group, that is phylum Platyhelminthes, belongs to this. Pseudocoelomates are the organisms in which the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm are present. The mesoderm is not going to form an entire kind of a layer, but it is present in the form of obliterated or scattered pieces. So there is a space, but it is not lined by mesoderm on either side. So we can't call it as a true coelom, and hence we call it as pseudo. Pseudo यानी false. And the phylum Acyhelminthes belongs to the pseudocoelomates. And rest all animals, phyla, that is Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata, are those with a true coelom, a true coelom being a cavity which is lined by mesoderm on both the sides. Point number 41. On the basis of fate of blastopore, that is embryonic development, animals can be divided into two categories, that is protostomiates and deuterostomiates. You can look on the screen for understanding the difference between the protostomiates and the deuterostomiates. You can zoom in so that you can understand it better. Point number 42. Protostomiates are the animals in which mouth is formed first from the blastopore. Example, Platyhelminthes to Mollusca. See, the word protos means first, stoma means mouth. So protostomiates, in which the mouth develops first. Point number 43, deuterostomiates, the animals in which anus is formed earlier than the mouth. So the blastopore turns to form an anus. Example, echinoderms, hemichordates and chordates. Friends, these are very important examples because this can be asked to you in MCQs in different forms. I shall try to frame up as many MCQs as possible from this particular chapter because yes, it's a lengthy chapter and the students are slightly afraid of this chapter. So as and when I get time, gradually I will be posting up many more videos on this. And yes, definitely I'm waiting for your suggestions and comments. Point number 44, echinodermata exhibits radial or bilateral symmetry depending on the stage. Next, presence or absence of a cavity between the body wall and the gut wall is very important in classification. Friends, this point is nothing but the cavity here means coelom. Point number 46, kingdom Animalia, which contains all animals, is important because of the role of animals in the various chemical cycles in the environment and because their mobility allows materials to be distributed more quickly through the environment. Point number 47, there are over 9 million species of animals found on the earth and they range from tiny organisms made up of only a few cells to the polar bear and the giant blue whale. Point number 48, about 75% of all species on earth are animals. Point number 49 is once again a kind of a classification. So do understand this. Please, you can zoom in and listen to me. Animalia comprises of the metazoans with either cellular or tissue level or organ level or organ system level of organization. Now, this group metazoa can be further divided into parazoa and eumetazoa, also at times called as enterozoa. Now, parazoa includes only a single phylum, that is Porifera, which has a cellular level of organization, which has mostly asymmetrical organisms which are acoelomate. Whereas eumetazoa or enterozoa, which shows tissue level, organ level and organ system level of classification, has two main subdivisions into it depending on their symmetry. First is radiata and second is bilateria. Now, radiata, as the term tells you, with the radial symmetry, which are diploblastic, have tissue level of organization and are acoelomate, and it comprises of only two phyla, namely Coelenterata and Ctenophora. Now, the second category, that is bilateria, that is bilaterally symmetrical animals, which are triploblastic and have either organ level of organization or organ system level of organization. Now, the bilateria group can be further divided into three subgroups. First is Acelometa with Platyhelminthes as an example. Second is Pseudocelometa with Nemathelminthes, that is also called as Nematoda as an example. Third is Eucoelometa or Coelometa, which has three subgroups in Schizocele, that is Annelida, Mollusca and Arthropoda, and three subgroups in enterocele, that is echinodermata, hemichordata and chordata. Point number 50, the word animal comes from the Latin word animalis, meaning having breath, having soul or living being. Friends, I'm sure this series will help you. Please subscribe if you're new to my channel and keep sharing with your friends. Start studying with me. Thank you.